Hey guys, welcome back. So we're gonna finish putting everything together here. Wing went ahead and redid my my lid, so now that can go on there. And I have my little knob that'll adjust the electric steering if I ever get that in. That's a future project, but like I said, planning ahead. And if I never get to it, I just never get to it. All right, so there's that. And then I want, so it's gonna go like that. That might go on like that, you know, just to save up room, because I'm trying to figure out. And then right here, I want this bus bar right here, but it's going over the hole a little bit right there. And I want to bring it down if I could get some wires to actually bend in right there and then retrieve from there, because I want these wires to go down onto this bus bar, and then from here then I can branch out this way. That way this whole unit is one, you know, just one big unit, and then I can just disconnect everything from here and then reconnect them. I think that's the best way to go at it, but I want to bring it in a little bit like that, and I want to clear that hole. So I definitely need to cut half of that so I can bring it forward, and then that way I'll be able to put a hole in there and a hole in there, and then glue it down also. So as I'm looking here, I need to do from here up. All right, I'm not plugged in. I thought I was plugged in. All right. It actually just melts the plastic more than it cuts it. And we're coming from this way. Okay. And we'll just kind of make it look pretty. That'll work. Okay, and then do the same on this side. All right, there we go. So now I can drill the holes through there and get that set up that way. So then this will be on there permanently. I need to get some bolts, of course, but hold that. And like I said, then I can wire everything to here and set up everything. And there's one thing I have to change real quick. So I had the positive just going to this bar right here. This has to be on its own circuit, so I need to add it to the circuit here. Either this one or the other one. I need a fuse on it just in case. So I'm just going to move it that way. That way I have a fuse, just in case, you know, something. Because you need to have this fused off. All right. that's one thing. After I was looking at my diagram that I was setting up, I realized that that has to be put on. Oh, it's 1/2. That has to be put on a fuse with its own circuit. So that's why I'm kind of taking my time. I'm taking my time with this, you know, to make sure I'm doing everything right. You know, and making sure I get all the circuits going to the right places and whatnot. All right, and then the main power will come into here. Well, not the main power, from the alternator. So this will go from the alternator, and from the alternator going down to, or no, from the alternator. Let's see. From the alternator, it'll go to this. It'll go to this, okay? And then the power will go there. Then from here, this one will go out, to the starter. So that way, that's that fusible link in between. All right. So that's what that's for. All right. But I needed a circuit for that, and that's what I forgot. I remembered when I pulled this out. That's what I had to do. Okay, so I need to go find. Probably drill the holes real quick before I go, and then I'll need to find some bolts for this, and then I'll need. Let's see. Oh, then I need bolts for this and tiny little screws here, where I can glue it and screw it on there. That way it screws down in, holds it, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the corners. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I should never be able to, have to go back in here, so I don't want to glue the whole thing. So I'm just going to glue the corners, then with a tiny little screw. All right, so look at this contraption. All right, so we have to figure out what wires are going to go where. So we got ignition. So we have to, I might just do the ignition, since that's ignition right there. I might just make that real tight right there. And then ignition into here. So this is ignition coming from the car, going to be in here, and then it goes up into the fuse box here. And then of course the other stuff will come out. So like this is part of the ignition for the electric steering wheel. So then, we have to figure out what we're going to put where. There's a radiator fans and starter, distributor, that wire. So I probably want that one probably down in here. And then, okay, so I want that one, ignition in. Probably go to that one. Put a little one right there, so that makes sense for that. Okay, and then these three are part of the ignition. So that way these three will be ignition. And this is a positive post, so that one has to go over and reach over to a positive. So I might have to extend that out just a little bit, because it might just be just a little too short. But anyway, there's positive. There's another positive. So these two separate like this, and we have to bring over to the positive. Okay. And then we got ignition switch, light switch. So okay. So that's from the light switch. That'll be what is what's gonna turn on the open and close the lights. And then we got the ammeter. Then we got negative. So negative has to come over here. So we're gonna take these two and these two will have to come over here like this. So we can add negative right here. And then we got horn out and then horn in. Okay. All right, so let's do the main ones first. Let's do the positive. And we could go right here. Because that is fused, so it doesn't matter. I could go right here. And that's probably just what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put two ends on that. I'm going to get that one out of the way first. And then the grounds out of the way. Maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the ground first. Yeah, that way I could still work that way. I'll give a little extra slack. And that way this will go underneath. So this is like really tedious work. Trying to get this all shaped and moved and how I want it. And so it is a little bit tedious here. It's a little tighter than I want to work with. Make sure that these are going to fit in there. It's the right size. My hands are just too big. Alright, so something like that. Okay. So that's just it. I'm going to be here a while. Gotta get all this on there correct. Anything like that. Shrink wrap it down a little bit. Go ahead and bring this ignition in right there. Okay. Ooh, it's warm. Ooh, it's warm. Okay, I'm gonna have to bend that a little bit. There we go. All right, so see, you can kind of see what I'm doing there. And then this one is, okay, that's the positive power. I gotta get these two positive powers. Where's the other one? Right here. Gotta get these. Get these situated first. I just wanted to get them out of the way. Yeah, I just might go to that. Just might go to this one right here. That way I don't have to trim anything. I just can connect it like that. And these ones I'll have to do 2 separate ones. And I need that size and that size. We will put some shrink wrap or heat shrink across here just to hold it in place. Is that gonna be able to get both of those in there? I'm gonna need a bigger size. I think I could get it. I think I could get it to work. Pull these off. Well, it's a little bit of a tight fit, but we'll get it. There we go. Just to hold it in place. It's back on as a marker. All right, then we'll take off the ends and put them up, and then we'll just keep going along with all these until, you know, I get them all how I like. Okay, so you can kind of see I got everything labeled. So I got like horn in, horn out, you know, starter to distributor, you know, that little line that branches off there. We got radiator, fans, ignition. Anything that would will deal with an ignition will be on this side. Anything that has to have constant power, you know, like your horn, you know, always has to have constant power. So there's horn in, horn out. This is the ignition switch to the light switch. So that's going to be, it's going to come out and go to the main power. So all these are now, or what am I trying to say? All of these 4 are out. See, so that one was in. So I went ignition in, and then these are out. So radiator out, starter, HEI distributor out, electric steering out. So this is in, and then these are going to be out. All right. So now I know where every wire needs to go. They will all be fused. And let's see if I can show you what the fuse box looks like. It's just a small little. And I had to rewire the. Come on. I had to rewire the original setup. There we go. So see, it just has 2 little relays. And then I marked it, so that's the horn relay. And then this one's gonna be the radiator fans. And then of course the fuses. And then on this side, I got the fuses marked of which fuse goes to where. Just in case I ever have to change fuses or anything, and I can figure out what's going on. Before I bolt it all back in and everything, I'm just going to set it on top. I'm going to kind of wire things up and see if it works. But I'm going to finish this, and I'm probably not going to do any of the other wiring to here until, you know, probably till tomorrow. I just want to kind of get this done. Sit down, think about it, and then come back and figure out what I'm going to do. Okay? So let me just finish this up, and we'll come back. All right, there it is, all finished and done. And so now, you know, some people might be questioning, like, why go through all this when I could just splice into the wires, and kind of like the old harness, you know, it's just one piece and then they splice into each other. The reason is because now if something goes bad, something goes wrong, you can replace one wire or a fuse, or a fuse, and backing up stuff. Instead of having a fusible link in the system, you got an actual fuse, you know, and that will protect your circuits you know, for everything there. Of course, that can come down to cover the top. Then I got my little knob here, and that'll be, like I said, for the adjustment when I get around to installing, you know, the electric on a steering. It's going to be a really tight fit. I don't even know if it's going to really fit. I might have to go to a to make it fit. I might have to go with a hydraulic clutch, just to make it fit. It's going to be damn close. I mean, there's not much room right there, as you can see. Really, there just really isn't. Okay, so that's the concern. But if I go, I'd have to go right up against that, right up against this, twist it, and have it sticking out a little bit. If I go, but I'm still planning on doing a rack and pinion. So then with this major piece gone here, you know, the steering gear, that'll give me a little more play right in between here. And I might have to dig into there. We'll see. Like I said, it just depends on, you know, it just depends. We'll see. But if anything, like I said, I'll have to take the Z-bar out and eventually do a hydraulic clutch. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It can sit there. I plan on putting like a 6-speed transmission, and if I can't get this, once I'll work on it a little bit. But if I can't fit it in between there, then I'll wait till you know, because I want a 6-speed transmission, and we'll go from there on that. All right, and then I got these wires right here that I got to fix and connect right here to these ones. So that one's going to be a separate run. So these ones this one I probably can finish doing the run on that one and getting it to how I want it ran. Because this one goes into the Dakota digital, or not digital, but the, what is it called? Detroit Speed, because those are the head, or the lamps that go up and down. All right, so those are on its own separate circuit on the inside there. And then I have to look at these closer again. Okay, this one is going to be the fan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these wires, and of course here's the ground. So the ground's going to be just maybe a little bit here short. I'll splice into it. There's multiple grounds that I'm going to splice into anyway. So maybe I'll splice in a ground there, and ground there. Splice those all into each other, and then hit my ground. So I'm a little short on that one. No big deal. I can make it work. So because that's the headlight. Yeah, those are to the lights, and these ones are to the lights. So I'll be able to splice in right there. That'll work. So I'll splice in and then hit into here with the longer one. And then, yeah, I'm just thinking, guys. Yeah, so then that one's ground also. So yeah, so all three of these I'll be able to, yeah, I'll be able to splice in. So okay, anyway, we're gonna leave off there for a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna eat lunch, and well, more like it's almost like 4 o'clock. It's more like dinner, but I'm hungry. I haven't ate all day. But that looks pretty good, and that should be our main computer basically for the front. Then But yeah, this will be a better setup, and then I can run and disconnect things and, you know, make my own little thing there. So basically, when I take this, I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to make sure I have plenty of wires coming from, let's see, it's not gonna, I don't want to set it there, I don't want to set it up here. So I'll kind of wire it all to here. I'm going to run all these wires because I want them to go underneath and around and down. So I'm going to give myself plenty of wires to go down and then wrap down there. So you can see where I got the one bolt there, so I know kind of where I'm going to wrap it around. So anyway, and then this one, I can get these adjusted to where they need to go to once they get in. So, but that one's going to be a little bit tighter, and but I'll get those too, because I need these. I need this wrapped up, maybe something like that. Anyway, I'm just talking now, but I'll get it all. I'll get it all done here. So I would just need to do that, and then we'll test it. Turn on the ignition. Make sure all the headlights and everything pop up first. And like the fans and the horn, you know, make sure all the lights light up correctly, and then we'll worry about starting it and doing the thing there. Okay, see you guys next time, and thanks for watching me, man. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoy the craziness.